Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing, swatching, and creating two looks with the brand new Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette right here. It is finally here. I have been anxiously awaiting for this palette's delivery. I can't wait to swatch all of the shades. I can't wait to put these shadows on my eyeballs. So if you're excited for today's palette review, don't forget to please give this video a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. I did a live video reacting to this palette and the pictures we were seeing from Natasha Denona online the day that this palette launched, and ever since, those creators who got their hands on their palette 1 to 2 days before me that have posted videos and swatches of it, from what I've seen, I haven't seen any in-depth review, but like, you can't skip the Instagram reels, right? So what I have seen since that live video the day of the reveal is that it looks warmer than it initially looked on the Natasha Denona post. One of the videos I saw was Angela Bride swatching this palette, and it looked a lot warmer swatched on her than the initial swatches we saw online. I kept telling you guys in the live video that it didn't even look like a warm palette, that it was like neutral browns with like some warmish shimmers. So we'll see once I open it and see it if that is still the opinion. By the way, if by the end of this video you are interested in getting your hands on this new Natasha Denona palette or anything else Natasha Denona, I do have an affiliated discount code and you can save 15% off of anything you purchase on the Natasha Denona website with my code PATTY15. So don't forget to use the discount code if you're shopping the Natasha Denona website for this palette. Besides that, if you want to get it at Ulta or Sephora, I have those links down below in the description box of this video, so definitely check it out over there as well. I personally purchased it on the Natasha Denona website because I definitely wanted to use a discount. In other news, I did want to mention I launched channel memberships recently for those of you who love my content, love my videos, and want to be further involved in my community. The memberships start at $1.99 a month, and I have different perks in different tiers, some of which are customized emojis for the comment section and live videos. And also, members will get to see videos before they become available to everyone else. So if you're interested in further supporting my YouTube channel, definitely check out the memberships. And with that said, let's go ahead and get this palette open. Take a look right here at what the exterior packaging of this palette looks like. It's like a warm champagne type color, and it's called the I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona. Once you open it, oh, it might be more beautiful in person than online. Take a look right here at what the palette looks like. As you can see, some of the matte shades are actually a bit warmer, like the shade Fervor right here and the shade Mellow. Also, the shade Flash Over has a pretty obvious warm undertone, but then you get shades like Peep or Vim or Soft Spots, which are a bit more on the neutral side. The shimmers, from the looks of them, all do seem to be on the warmer side. I really love the soft warm hues in this color story for sure, and I cannot wait to create looks with this palette. So let's go ahead and go for the swatches. Here are the first 4 shades on my finger. The one on my pinky is that multi-chrome shade called Phenomena. And let's go for the swatches. Here's the shade Soft Spot, super creamy matte. The shade Fantasy, beautiful shimmer. Mellow, which is that very light creamy matte. And then Phenomena, which is the multi-chrome shade. It's not super sparkly, but you can definitely see how the shade shifts. It has green and gold and orange multi-chromes in there. Here are the next 4 shades on my fingers. This is the last shade in row number 1, which is the color Ripe, which is another creamy matte. Then we have Elm, which is a beautiful soft shimmer. Then the shade Snug right here, which I believe is a metallic color. and another creamy matte, the shade Vim, which is a dark neutral brown. Here are the next 4 shades, starting with the color Push, which is a sparkling foiled formula. Then we have Fervor, which is a caramel creamy matte, Peep, which is a deep matte brown shade, and Homey, which is a metal gloss warm nude. Check it out right there. And here are the last 3 shades, starting with the shade Hanker. Hanker is a metallic medium dark golden brown. Then we have Dynamism, which is a duochrome medium brown with green specks. Why is the camera not focusing? Take a look right here at the shade Dynamism and the shade Hanker. And then the last color is a new formula. It's called Flashover, and it is a slip cream matte medium clay brown. So take a look now that everything is swatched at what all of the shades look like. Does it not look warmer now that everything is swatched than it looked online at first? Because to me online it looked a bit more neutral, and once I saw it swatched like this, I was like, wait, it's actually a soft, warm, beautiful palette, especially now that the fall season is upon us. Really love these swatches. The shimmers look incredible. I'm so happy, and I'm never going to get tired of saying this, that Natasha switched from the lackluster shimmers to the shinier, sparklier shimmer formula. When Natasha was making palettes like the bronze palette or the warm palette, her matte formulas have always been incredible, right? And the shimmers were good, but they weren't giving the level of shine that these shimmers give. And so those palettes, even though I really enjoyed them, to me were always missing something. And these new ones are not missing a thing, okay? These are great. Very excited to start playing, so I'm just going to go right for it. Here's a Rephr number 27 brush, and I'm going to use the shade Mellow as my transition color. So with my Rephr number 27, I'm just going to blend that color Mellow on the crease of the eye. I always like to start on the outer half and then bring in whatever's left on my brush so that we have a nice gradient. That's a beautiful, soft, warm transition for sure. The swatch of this shade was great, and it's going on beautifully on the eyelid as well. One thing is for sure, this palette is a lot more dark skin friendly than the I Need a Nude palette from last year. You definitely have a lot more depth in here, not just a lot more warmth. So check it out. I love that color. What do we do next? I think I'm going to make this one pretty warm, so I'm going in with the shade Fervor on a Rephr number 1. This one's described as a caramel matte color, and it's one of the warmest mattes. Actually, it's the warmest matte, I think, in this palette. And so I wanted to make sure to use it in this video so we could see as warm as the palette goes. So I'm adding it to the outer third of my eyelid and bringing it up into the crease ever so slightly, back and forth with my Rephr number 1. I think I want to add a little more, and I add it more to add a bit more depth without going into a different matte shade, because the darker matte shades are not as warm as the shade Fervor is, and so it would take away from the warmth of this eyeshadow look. If I want to see how warm I can go, we gotta keep it at Fervor. We can't use the darker shades, I don't think. Maybe as an eyeliner, but not on their own. Should we try Flashover as an eyeliner? This is a Rephr number 3, so it's going to not be a very precise eyeliner. I think I just want to smudge it on the outer third, in between my lashes, to get a bit more depth close to the lash line without taking away from the warmth. So not quite an eyeliner, but like a smoky situation close to the lash line. Back with the Rephr number 1, I just want to make sure that it blends nicely, just like so. I'm going to use more Flashover on that Rephr number 3 and darken up the under eye with it. So I'm wiggling it in between my lower lashes, halfway in. I want to use the shade Push right in the center of my eyelid since this is also a pretty warm shimmer shade, one of the warmest ones in the palette. And I'm just tapping it in place. Beautiful, beautiful, sparkly shimmer color. I love sparkle. I like this shade. This, I believe, was a foiled metallic. Was that what this one was described as? It's described as a sparkling foiled shade, and that is exactly what it looks like. I love the sparkle. For the inner corner, the warmest light shimmer is going to be the shade Elm right here, which is also described as a sparkling foiled shade. And with the Rephr number 28, I'm going to stamp it and blend it right on the inner third of my eyelid and inner corner. With the same brush, I'm going to grab a little bit of push and add it right up here. It's so pretty. Rephr number 14 and the shade Mellow, because we want to smoke out the lower lash line. So back and forth I am smoking out things down here. By the way, I have a little bit of mascara on and a waterline brown eyeliner because I was filming another video when my palette arrived, and I immediately took everything off to switch gears and go into this review because I have been waiting. So anyways, this right here is possibly one of the warmest looks you can do with this I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona. I wanted to test the warm extreme since it's a warm palette, and it's like nice and softly warm. It's not super like orange or red or anything like that. It's a demure warm. I can't stop using the word now, okay? Absolutely love the way that looks. It looks incredible. And of course we have to test out the multi-chrome, so we'll do that on the second eye look. I reapplied my eyeliner, which is the Laura Mercier in the shade Cocoa, and I am applying some lashes. These are Ardell Wispies. And now that the lashes are applied, take a look right here at the first eyeshadow look, fully finished. Really loving the way it looks. Very beautiful, very glamorous, very cutesy. Let's move on to the second eye look. Once again, going in with my Rephr number 27. This time the shade of choice is the shade Ripe, and I'm going to start my look by adding Ripe to the crease of this eye, just back and forth on the outer third, and I'm starting to blend it up. And I'm doing little circles right here throughout the crease so that it blends out really nicely. I'm taking Ripe all the way in, right here into my inner crease area, just like so. Then with a pointed blending brush, I'm going to grab the shade Vim and add it right on the inner corner of the eyelid. I'm going to do a halo eye for this one, and I'm going to define this inner part right here. A bit more of the shade Vim for the outer third, just stamping it in place right back here. And with the edge of my brush, I'm going to blend it into the crease ever so slightly. I want to create a bit of a smoky, thick-winged type of effect back here. So I'm making that color a bit more defined than usual right here on the outer part of the eye. And back with the Rephr number 27, the center is going to be really nice and blended. I'm also going to use the shade Peep, same brush. And once again, I'm going to start by darkening right on the inner corner and also darkening right back here. Not going as high as I went with the shade Vim, but I do want those two colors to blend into one another. So with a clean blending brush, I'm just going to make sure that they diffuse nicely. Back with the shade Peep, I also want to bring it underneath my lower lash line on the outer corner and also on the tear duct area. And with the shade Ripe and a Rephr number 14, I'm going to smoke that out, blending back and forth down here. Moment of truth, I'm going to grab the shade Phenomena, which is the multi-chrome shade, and I'm going to tap it right in the center. I think my biggest disappointment so far with this eyeshadow palette might be the shade Phenomena, not because it's ugly, but because I had my expectations high. I thought this would be a true like shifting multi-chrome, It's not terrible, but I mainly see like the reddish sparkle even when I look at it in person. It's hard for the green to be seen for some reason. I want to show you it's there though. See in the mirror, and also in the way that the mirror is reflecting on my finger now. You can see the gold, you can see the green, but you cannot see it straight on the eyelid. Anyways, it's fine. And this is the shade Fancy. I'm going to tap it right through the center over the top. The reason being I want to make it sparklier. So I'm just tapping it right there. And I want this eye look to be really nice and smoky. So back with the shade Peep, which is the darkest creamy matte, I'm retouching the outer and inner corners of this halo eye. That looks really pretty. Rephr number 28, and back with the shade Fancy. This is going to be my inner corner shade right in there. I'm reapplying my Laura Mercier Cocoa eyeliner. I forgot I also wanted to put Fancy right underneath my eye in the center down here, just like so. And so before I go in with lashes, here's what things are looking like. Here we are, and I am obsessed with the way this eyeshadow look turned out. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So smoky, so glamorous, so chic, so beautiful, so shimmery. I love it. So blended. I love it. Okay, I love it. Did I mention I love it? Because I love it. That is look number 2, clearly my favorite. We are not done though. Let's go ahead and apply some blush and a lip. I'm feeling fancy because I'm feeling look number 2. So I brought out my Hermes blush, which I haven't used in a long time because I love it, but then I remember how much they are, which makes me love them a little bit less. But the I Need a Nude palette deserves a beautiful warm blush to be matched to it. So anyways, this is my Hermes blush in number 23. It just has the most beautiful peachy warmth to it. Stunning. Oh, you know what I could combine with this blush to make it a bit more warm, and also I think it'll match a little better? One of the new Angelica Nyqvist blushes. I have them right here next to me. She launched a yellow blush, which I am very curious about, but also I think it'll be perfect to combine with this one. If you don't know Angelica, I'm sure you know Angelica. She's amazing. Her brand is called Cinch Beauty, and this is her first makeup launch. Before this she had only launched brushes. Take a look at this blush color. It's beautiful. It's yellow, it's different, it's unexpected, and I think it'll go so well with what I just did. So I'm putting it on top. Isn't that pretty? Yes, I like it. I like it. I don't know if on its own this is a blush that I'll love. I knew that it would just be perfect for this particular eye look, for look number 1. On its own, because I have such like neutral to cool undertone, I don't know if this is the blush for me, but combined, I just knew that it would work so well. That is just so pretty. It's a perfect match right here. The shade is Persistent Persimmon, right? I like that combination. That is fun. And then I brought out my newest, most favorite highlighter in the entire world, the Natasha Denona highlighter, the High Glam highlighter from Natasha, and with this Rephr number 1 Max, we are going to go to town. This highlighter just has such a beautiful texture. I have a lot going on my eyes and on my cheeks, so I'm just going to go for a basic nude lip, I think. When in doubt, I always reach for my favorite, which is the Natasha Denona I Need a Dream lip liner in the shade Natasha. It is just the best lip liner, okay? I love it. And it goes with everything. Here's that lip liner applied, and should I combine it with COLLAB from Natasha? This is the Natasha lip gloss in the shade COLLAB, which is a warm nude. I think it'll be perfect. Take a look right here at the final result. Here is look 1 and look 2 with this beautiful I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona. I really love the finished makeup look. My second look clearly being my favorite. It's just so glamorous and beautiful. The formulation of the I Need a Warm palette from Natasha is incredible. Everything blended like butter. Everything easily diffused into one another. Everything was pigmented. The shimmers were shiny. I love the color story. I think it's perfect for the fall season. Do we have shades that are kind of similar to these? We probably do somewhere in our collection, especially if you, like me, have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. But it's a beautiful, beautiful color story nonetheless, with impeccable quality. Anyways, I want to show you these swatches next to the palette that inspired this palette, which was last year's release, the I Need a Nude palette. Alright, so here's the outside of the palette side by side. I need a warm on top, I need a nude at the bottom. They have similar designs with the like shapes underneath the clear plastic. And then here are both color stories side by side. As you can see, I Need a Nude at the bottom is much more cool toned. It has some rose shades to it and only one truly deep matte brown here versus the one on top. Every single shade looks warmer in comparison when you put them side by side, and you do have a bit more depth in the color story of the I Need a Warm palette. So if you have a darker complexion, this is definitely a better option for you. And then here they are side by side. I Need a Warm versus I Need a Nude. Both of the palettes have beautiful mattes and beautiful shimmer shades. And the color stories are very complementary to one another. I love the finish of every single one of the shimmers in these palettes. And the mattes have a beautiful, outstanding, creamy pigmented formula that is very easy to work with. Natasha Denona eyeshadows in general just have a very easy to work with formula that I absolutely love. Now that we did the side-by-side swatch comparison with those two, let's put the I Need a Warm palette side-by-side with some other popular warm palettes that you guys might have, so you can see the difference. I definitely wanted to compare it with the bronze palette from Natasha Denona so you can see the difference, because this was the first palette I thought of when this one was coming out before I saw the shade range. And I was like, she already has a warm color story, thinking of the bronze palette. But as you can see, these are very different because this is a much softer, warm color story in comparison to the bolder, deeper warms that the bronze palette has, with the mustards and the orange shades in it. This has a lot more nude. This is more so like I need a nude warm palette. Here it is next to the PATRICIAALONSO Major Dimensions eyeshadow palette. There are a few shades between these two that look kind of similar to one another. In particular, like the first half of the palette, I would say. And then maybe a couple of shades from the back of the PATRICIAALONSO palette as well. I hadn't even thought of Empowered by Huda because to me they didn't look the same color story wise, but somebody asked for it, so I'll show it. The Huda one is a lot warmer than the Natasha one, and then the Huda one also has like burgundies and purples and some cool tones in it. So to me it was pretty different, but I can see why they wanted this comparison. And then somebody asked me to compare it to the Biba palette from Natasha. I do have a Biba palette from Natasha, which you guys didn't know about until right now, because I bought it to do videos with. I want to do a 5 looks 1 palette with the Biba palette, but I haven't done it. Not yet. Anyways, let's see that side-by-side comparison. Take a look right here at the difference between these two color stories. Pretty different in my opinion. There might be a couple shades overlapping, but for the most part, they have different vibes to them. I truly hope that this video was helpful. If it was to you, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up before you leave. Let me know which eyeshadow look you guys like better, 1 or 2. And don't forget, if you want to purchase the I Need a Warm palette or anything else from the Natasha Denona website to save some money using my discount code. The code is PATTY15 and you can get 15% off anything on the Natasha Denona website. That is it from me today. If you liked today's video, don't forget to subscribe so you can come back for more. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye.